Welcome, everybody. It's your boy Kojay here, continuing this series on my channel. As you know, my channel has a lot of series, themes, topics, entertainment stuff, and value, whatever, but it's all 100% me to you. And this series of Voices for Gaza is very important to me. We've had Jessica Katawi, my boy Hamad from Qatar, and Seiji Hitomi Haruko on here as well. And I'm looking to bring more people in so we can continue talking about Palestine. Amongst protesting and doing everything I can to spread awareness of what's going on in Palestine, I've had the pleasure and privilege to come across a wonderful human beings that I am proud to call acquaintances and friends. And one of them is my boy Youceff, who I'm very happy to have met recently. And I am inviting him here today with you to the stage for you all to see. My boy Youceff. How you doing,
Absolutely.
brother?
What's going on? I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay. We got some good news. The arrest warrants are out. More people, our protests are growing. Awareness is spreading. It's very, very nice.
Bro, it's been such a I feel like the tide has turned.
Yeah. Oh, that feels good. I just wish it was more and faster and bigger. But let's get into introducing the kind folks of my channel in the world. Hopefully everyone sees this because I am shadow banned. Um
Damn.
uh where you at? You're here in LA with me too?
Yes, sir.
What you
Uh
do? What you about?
I'm in Inglewood. So, yeah, what can I say? I mean, my full name is Youceff Kabal. I'm not, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not afraid of having my name out there. I think some people too have I respect, what do you call that? Like pseudonyms, or just, because I know the movement is heavily repressed by surveillance, right? The Zionists, um, mafia. Okay, I really think
It
we
is
gotta
pretty
call it
much like a
that.
mafia. Yeah.
They have their hands on almost everything, so, and I'm sure did you hear about like there's some revelations recently that like dozens of former IDF or IOF work at Meta,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
I,
in
I
the
I think we've talked to their burner accounts quite a bit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're all coming
Yeah.
to our space saying this crazy uh idea of fortune cookie repetitive same thing again and again. It's like, wow, you guys are kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean they're and so they that's their anytime I log on to IG, like I know, yeah, we're it's like the culture war. And so I understand people want to protect themselves. People have kids, people have families, people have all kinds of things. I myself, I'm single. I don't have kids. But that doesn't mean I'm not concerned for my safety to a certain extent. But the thing about me is I'm a born again Christian. I believe in Christ and Jesus.
beautiful.
And I'm like that guides my life. If you spoke to me like 4 years ago, you talk to a different person.
Oh, so this is quite recent when you found Jesus.
Yeah, and I've had a long, I mean, so I was born in Belgium. My dad's from Morocco. My mom's from Oakland, California. So I'm like, anytime I tell people this story, they're like, how did they, what? It's like,
Bro, yo, we're the same. I'm born in Augsburg. My father's from Kentucky, America. My mother's from Ganimula, Sri Lanka.
wow,
I feel you. Wow.
that's
Who would have
crazy. Sri
thought?
Lanka?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
And you were born in Augsburg, you said?
Yeah, yeah.
Wh- England?
They no, Germany. They were in
Wow.
my father was stationed in the Air Force in a military base
Mm,
there, and they had me on the base. So
dope.
that was kind of cool. And I was like, wow, I've never heard someone who had parents from two different places who was born in another place.
I mean, yeah,
What?
like it's,
Hey.
I mean, for what it's worth, it is. I'm gonna do something real quick just to affect my light a
No,
little
it's
bit,
all
but
good. It's all good.
yeah, like it's like it's a we live in the 21st century, and it's a
Mm,
testament to our people have traveled across the globe, and capitalism really is affecting all these countries. Capitalism has
mm,
affected Morocco. My dad had not a lot of working opportunities as a young man in Morocco. There is a lot more, and as most people from North Africa, like Morocco, Algeria, it's a trend. People go from the south to the north. They go to France, they go to Belgium, they go to Germany, they go to Netherlands, whatever. And in Belgium, there's a lot of Moroccans there.
oh
And
wow.
yeah, and my mom was, she was born in Oakland, but actually she faced some of the same things that we all face as young Americans. It's hard to get a job. Everybody wants like 5 years experience out of college. You're like, I've been in college. Where am I going to get this experience? You know what I mean? So
Mm,
she was like, I'm done with this. I'm going to Europe, and that's where she met my dad.
wow. I'm glad she did
And
because
then
you're
there we
here,
go.
bro.
Yeah, man, it's given me such a crazy perspective. Like and as basically my Moroccan heritage, it's like,
Mhm,
Palestine's always been, we've known about it, as the Arab world, extended
mhm.
to Morocco, even though
Yeah,
Morocco is technically North Africa. But, yeah, I mean,
but, like, culturally, there's a
yeah, we speak
connection.
Arabic.
Mm,
People speak Arabic, and so, and, the Muslims were, they had a huge dynasty in Morocco, so yeah.
mm. Wow, so that brings me to my prime question also is, when was the first time you came across to knowing what the truth of what's going on to the Palestinian people in occupied Palestine, and uh, when did you start voicing up, being vocal about it, and what inspired you to do so?
For sure. Well, so I'm the second, like I'm the middle child. I have an older brother, and me and my brother are like really close. And my brother in high school, this is like um, '05, '06, probably close to '06. I think 2006. I think it's the second Intifada,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. And my brother like just kind of like shone the light for me. His name is Mohammed, and yeah, like he bought us kefiyas. Like at the time he called him. I think he bought shamags because I don't know the difference exactly between a kefiyah and shamag. I think a shamag is more military, if you will, but
Wait, that's not the red one, or is the red one a different?
no, it's like a different like I don't know, but it came with like the thing like Emiratis put on their things.
Oh, that little black rope thing.
Yeah, it came with that.
That's
So
so bad. I don't know. I'm
and
learning, people.
I was 16, and I was like I was shocked that the I mean this is all around 9/11,
Mm,
Muslims and Arabs really facing discrimination here in the
yeah.
U.S. So it was like it definitely yeah, I mean it, it was hard to miss. And the thing is, I think I had a Palestinian friend. This was in Arizona, and and we talked sometimes, but I think because I was so young, I was like maybe more focused on just things that a teenager would focus on, like I don't know, like girls or sports or whatever, like and so um, in my schooling, things like that. So yeah, it didn't, it really wasn't until like I mean, I followed, I think 2014 there was like the March of Return, right? They tried to return to their homes, and were met with violent repression. I remember that, but at the same time, then I was in college, and it was like I was focused on that and overwhelmed with like just my studies. So I wasn't like able. And Phoenix. Have you been to Phoenix in Arizona? That's where I grew up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I had to work out there a few times. I had to drive out there from here to there.
yeah,
Yeah, long drive, but yeah, it's
yeah.
cool.
I mean, it's not LA. You know what I
No.
mean? Like it's culturally, it's very because the city's so spread out. Like people, the only time that there was like a real protest was for this thing called SB 1070, which was like a racial profiling law, where a lot of like Latin uh, yeah, populations like Chicanos, like everyone in who had brown skin was basically became a target all of a sudden for law enforcement, being pulled over, this and that. So there were mass protests there, like people were walking out of school, but this was like 2008, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then Obama came and everybody was chill again. He was a real, like, what do you call that?
Wait,
Like
2018, right?
no, this is 2008.
Oh,
2008.
2008. Oh,
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Palestine was never really like a huge. I mean, there just wasn't that many protests in Arizona to begin with, and Palestine never really came up as like a big social issue. So, yeah. So it wasn't really until last October that I was like, okay, like this is serious. Like I gotta play my part, because by then I had I've been in actions for um, the LA Tenants Union. Have you heard about them?
Unfortunately, no. What
No,
is it?
so yeah, so LA Tenants Union is like a housing, basically housing rights organization. They, um, how to say, like, yeah, they just teach tenants on how to, um, yeah, defend themselves against slumlords. This was in 2020. Basically, COVID pandemic shut down. Nobody could work, and it was like, well, this was March 2020. Then April 1st came, and it was like, what do I do? Do I pay my rent? Like, I don't have money. Like, I can't work. Like, you guys want me to pay rent? So it was like, okay, no, we're gonna do a rent strike. We're gonna do this. And so I became active then. And then there was like the Black Lives Matter. And so I supported that as well. And so when this came around, I was like, okay, like, I guess it's that time again. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you've been an activist for a while before this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I never really, I was like, I never thought of myself as an activist. Like,
Neither have
it's
I. Now
just,
I am.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Definitely. It doesn't feel like you're, I don't know. For me, it feels like just what you have to do to try to help.
your
And then you're an
civil
activist.
duty. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. As a free American with our
Right.
abilities of free speech and the freedoms that we have, I think it's our due diligence to use it. So,
Bars.
um, let's backtrack a bit. I'm curious. What inspired you to get into Black Lives Matter?
Well, I saw, I mean, I think, because Black Lives Matter didn't start in 2020. There were, multiple murders at the hands of police, of predominantly Black men and women who seemingly pose no threat. I mean, I think the movement is a little, it lost steam for a reason, because, the thing is, every incident is different. Okay, and they all have their um, you know peculiarities.
Mhm.
But when George Floyd was laying there, and at first you see the dude with his knee on his neck, and you're like, okay, like, this is gonna stop, right? And then it doesn't stop. And
Yeah.
so it was such like, enraging moment. I was like, so and it was already on the back of like this we can't work. We're just like, we're kind of told to stay home, blah blah blah, like, kind of scared to death of this virus. And so it was like, dude, enough is enough. Like, we gotta. And what I mean, I myself, I'm darker skin. Like, I wouldn't consider myself Black, even though I really don't believe in that term. But like, when people see me, like when white people see me, they look at me different. And my name is Youceff. Like, I have a slightly wider nose, different like facial features. They just kind of treat me different. And so
Mm.
I've been treated different by police. I've had altercations, when just being pulled over for no reason. Like, I was pulled over twice when I was driving to Missouri. I went to
Oh, wow.
a festival in Chicago, so from Arizona to Missouri, to to Illinois. We drove to Missouri, and on the way there, we got pulled over. On the way back, got pulled over, and it was like, okay, like I don't know. Anyways, just like yeah, I've had my experiences with law enforcement, and I know that like um, it's I know what it feels like to be on the end of that, and I just felt kind of moved to yeah, go out and yeah, go out and take a stand for this man who was murdered. Um, yeah,
That's normal, bro. And
yeah.
then when the genocide happened, when was the first time you got into being vocal and active for Palestine?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I followed like these, like Telegram and like kind of like out. I wouldn't call it alt news, but like just like I don't watch CNN. Like I don't watch them. I don't have a TV. Like I just go on Twitter. I go on, you know, and so a lot of Twitter news was censored as well. So then a lot of channels were going to Telegram. So I was following some channels on Telegram, and I remember seeing like the rockets, and everything, and I was like, oh shit, like right on, like like they're something's happening. You know what I mean? Like a resistance, like something's been going on, and I'm all for it, like because it's like and I don't know if that's necessarily like so if, I don't know if someone's like a U.S. citizen is like right on to that is like is that a crime? Like that's crazy. Uh, you might have to arrest everyone. So it's just anyways. The thing is to say like I if a people is being oppressed, right, as the Palestinians have been, I'm for, the oppressed. And, I know the situation in Israel. Like, I know what Israelis do. I know the apartheid. I know the wall. I know the beatings, the and how the U.S. pays for all that. How our taxpayers' money pays for all that. So, I was like, cool, like something's gonna happen. And then I didn't realize the extent. I didn't see any of the videos that like, they circulated on like CNN, all that stuff, like all that propaganda. I was like, I'm not gonna watch like, even if, and I'm not saying they didn't, it has largely been debunked, but like, I'm not gonna go and watch a woman get raped. You know what I mean? Like that's just not, you know what I mean? Like, or like children being beheaded. But for some reason, those guys were watching that on repeat, which I think, for what it's worth, speaks a lot about Zionists and how like they're for some reason obsessed with that. And I do think, and this is might be controversial, and hopefully, are you gonna put this on YouTube, by the way?
Oh yeah,
Possibly. Okay. Okay.
this is my
Okay.
channel.
I'm not gonna say this then. But like,
Say
it's
what
just
you want.
no. Some things I don't want your shit to be taken down. So,
All
but like, because
right.
it will. But like, I just think some of the footage is kind of dubious, and but yeah, I didn't watch any of that. But look, I'm not for people taken prisoner. I'm not for people being murdered. I'm not for any of that,
None of
But
us are.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that's, I think, a lot of Zionists and a lot of people who are not even Zionists, the people who are listening to what Zionists say and taking it at face value, they think that we're all, no, we don't want that. I don't want anyone, but, there's no action, without a provocation. So, if these guys are throwing rockets, there's got to be a reason. And sure enough, we found out that all throughout the year, there were settler attacks in the West Bank. There was like a thing that happened at Al-Aqsa Mosque, right, in April, where the mosque was stormed. And this was basically, the revenge. This was like, okay, you guys want to do this for us? Okay. They waited, what, like 6 months? And then they were like, boom, hits you. And it's like, that's war, and if you, and that's the thing that I think Zionists fail at is like they, and that's like they cry victim once, they get what they deserve. It's like, guys, maybe had you not stormed their mosque, their place of worship, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe if you weren't, you know, uh, destroying their houses, destroying their olive, um, trees, like killing their children, like maybe this wouldn't happen. You know, I mean, this is I fundamentally, I'm sure you know the movement agrees with me. Like October 7th happened as a result of the apartheid, and
Mm-hmm.
if there was no apartheid, it wouldn't have happened because the Palestinian people, at their roots, are peaceful. They love. It's been, you know, we see these kids. They just love. They like everyone's love and, like, you know, resilience. So like they don't live to kill. They just want to live, and they're not being allowed to.
Yeah, it's very stressful too because uh the people who are occupied have a right to defend themselves. People who occupy those people do not have a right to defend themselves. In fact, the people who occupy people have the responsibility by international law to take care of them. And
Right.
occupation is supposed to be temporary, but this has gone way beyond temporary, hence why it's illegal. And I don't like how, as you said, the Zionists, they add propaganda to a horrific event. uh Taking hostages is wrong. I don't like that. um Shooting at innocent people is wrong. I don't like that. um but what I also don't like is adding falsities over the horrible event, like there were no women raped, no beheading. A kid died with crossfire of a bullet, they don't even know where, because Israel IDF, they fired onto their people. And oh no, the light. And then we also had
I was gonna say, it got
uh
pretty dark here too.
I know the sun dropped.
It's like crazy.
uh or they're onto us. No, what was I saying? Oh yeah, yeah. So there was no beheadings, no ovens, no nothing. A child died in the
Right.
hospital from the event, one in the crossfire. And backup time, give me a second.
All good, all good.
uh but yeah, the thing is, the added information onto the added propaganda to a horrific event is bothersome to me, because it sounds like they're really, really trying to sell you on hating a demographic of people who are
Right.
not responsible for a resistance group's course of action. And for some reason, that detail is thrown away, ignored, and they just focus on, no, focus on this and this.
You're right.
Like the dehumanization of Palestinians, they don't get any value to what happens to them. And I was arguing with this Zionist person. I didn't know they were Zionists until they flipped out on me, and they were justifying that. I was saying, okay, killing kids is wrong. You know that? Yeah. Okay, good. I'm not for killing anybody. Any innocent kid.
Yeah.
But they were like, yo, but it's okay to kill the Palestinian kids because that's just what happens in war. And there's this issue I have with, okay, if they're going after to save or rescue the hostages, the actions of targeting healthcare workers, journalists, innocent men, women, and children, why is that a tactic? Why is that acceptable course of action of going after a quote quote terrorist group when literally they're targeting innocent men, women, and children daily? We have evidence. We have a year and 40, like what, 46 days worth of evidence of
Yeah.
them doing exactly that. And it's astounding to me how uh some people are still coming to realize this. Like, I just told a buddy I haven't seen in a while what was going on. He's like, hey, what's going on with Palestine? And then I gave him a rundown of like 15 minutes. Then we were just talking, went on the phones, and 30 minutes later, he's like, oh crap, this is messed up. It doesn't take long to catch up on what's going on. It's How do you
No,
feel
I
about
no.
this? Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, you know, I fundamentally, you know, I know the propaganda is that, you know, Hamas, or, and they always say Hamas. Anyways, you know, it's like there's like multiple groups under, but anyways, they always say, oh, Hamas is hiding behind uh, humans, right, or like civilians,
Oh,
right?
the human shield thing.
Yeah. The thing is, so the way this genocide is being taken, the reason why it's a genocide and not a war. A lot of, you know, I heard RFK saying, "Oh, it's a war. It's not a genocide." Right? You've heard that.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why it's a genocide is because they the targets are being selected by artificial intelligence. The choice of target is completely just what's the word, like arbitrary.
Indiscriminate.
Yeah, arbitrary. Just kind of like, okay,
Mm,
well, we think this guy might be like at 60% chance he might be because he was here with this guy like 3 years ago.
mm.
Like, okay, so
And
then,
all males are Hamas, apparently.
and then the thing is, ultimately, they're not even trying to really necessarily kill them, but they're trying to kill their families so that they turn themselves in. So that ultimately, what Israel's, it seems like they've programmed their artificial intelligence to do this, because artificial intelligence is that artificial. It's it's not natural. It means a human made it. So they programmed their computer to basically have this mentality of, okay, we're gonna, in order to bring Hamas to lay down their arms, we have to kill their families. That's 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 what Israel is trying to do.
And they're
That's
assuming everyone's related, apparently.
Yeah, but it's like, that's not war. Like, you don't, I mean, I guess it is in a sense, like, but
Mm,
really it's like when you're just straight up killing everybody in order to pressure the that's, oh, you're really, it's a genocide. And it's a genocide under the war, because World War II, yeah, there was a war, but the genocide happened under that war. It's had several genocides, and all genocides happen under circumstances of war. Like there was ethnic cleansing during the Yugoslavia war, right? 98, 99. And so the genocide is operating under this war, if you will. And it's still a genocide and it has to stop. And it's being carried out by Israel.
and we're funding it. That's the part that breaks my heart and pisses me off every day. Oh, man. Have you come across face to face with many Zionists in this time of protesting?
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's sad, man. It's like the brainwashing, like I don't, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I was there at UCLA.
Uh-huh.
When there was a big attack, that was, and for what it's worth, a lot of people were saying, oh, it was so bad, this and that. Personally, I'm thankful to have experienced that, because that's like a fraction of what it's like actually in Gaza. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, okay, I wasn't really instigating nothing. You know what I'm saying? We're just occupying. That's it. It was a peaceful, hey, we're here. We want divestment. Um, we're not going to leave until you divest. And then these thugs, who I believe there was like Proud Boys there. I mean, they're not going to show up like that as a mob, like in the middle of the night, like for free. Like these
Mm.
cats, they're 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 like, how to say, man, what do thugs do? Like, what do like these kind of just like just people who are like just have no moral compass do at night? Like they party, they drink, they try to like have sex, they do drugs. Like that's what they normally do at night. Like they want to have fun. They go to the casino, they go, they're not gonna show up to beat a bunch of college kids like at midnight for no reason. No,
Mm-hmm.
there's money. Somebody paid them
Mm-hmm.
to go there. And
Yeah,
that's really what we got to talk about,
definitely. My teacher, she was there, but she didn't get to go there. She was on the outside. She saw all the cops lined up, just watching it happen,
Yeah.
doing nothing, just letting it happen. And I saw some footage. The kids were hit
The
with like a
security
four by
too,
four. Yeah, no one's doing anything. They're just
CSC,
letting it happen. And
the
when you
the
stand in
chancellor.
line, yeah, when you stand in line and you just let it happen, those are orders people are following. You know what I mean? You don't just stand there and not uphold the law like your job is supposed to be.
That part.
And that's oh,
That's crazy to think about.
yeah, and it's crazy because there was no violence because the encampments happened for a while, and then later on, they brought the violence to the students. The students didn't bring any of it. Even before that, I knew that some homeless people were introduced to the campus to try and cause a ruckus, but then they ended up befriending and helping the kids. So I'm like, what's going on here? It's like an espionage movie, but this is real life. It's
I mean,
wild,
yeah, the
and it
fact that
gets
we can't,
reported totally different.
right. I mean, yeah,
If
we
anything, it's
literally
just staged for the news to do more propaganda. I felt.
we had a microcosm of the the conflict here in LA. It's mind-boggling, really.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever see Star Wars?
I mean, I'm not a Star Wars head, but I saw like the one with like Samuel Jackson. I think
Oh,
season two. Yeah,
dang. No,
you know
no,
what I'm saying?
no, no. There's a scene in the movie
Sorry,
where the
internet.
bad guy is trying to. No, it's all good. I got you. There's a scene in Return of the Jedi where the protagonist Luke Skywalker is supposed to be enticed to join the bad guys. The
Mm,
evil empire. We could call it the Zionist entity. All right, and they had the enemy ships in view in the distance, and the Emperor told them to hold, just stay position, not even move around like they're fighting. While all these little ships were fighting for their lives, and they were fighting for their lives too. But from a distance, it looked like the Empire was winning. But if you're close to the battle, you see that the Empire was just um 50-50. You didn't know if they
mm,
were going to win or not. But it was at such a far distance, staged to be in such a position so whoever's watching it could be sold on the narrative to sell you on
right.
what they want you to do.
Exactly.
And I was thinking that scene
Crazy.
too. Yeah, yeah. And what's crazy, you should check out Star Wars Dog. Um, but George Lucas was really huge on resistance, and he based it on a lot of stuff that was going on in Vietnam, because a lot of our U.S. soldiers, they'd
Mm,
attack civilians and napalm villages and stuff, and a whole bunch of wrong things. And in Star Wars, the whole idea is that there's this huge evil empire that the people are rebelling against. And he was having a
right.
talk with James Cameron saying that you know, our heroes in Star Wars would be called terrorists today. And it's trippy because, I'm a
Bars.
huge geek. I live on all this stuff, right? And then I see what's happening now. I'm like, oh, the rebellion are falsely labeled as terrorists. And the resistance fighters, the people speaking up against war crimes, and the evil empire is the one benefiting and promoting war crimes. It's so crazy
It's like
how,
completely backwards.
yeah, it's astounding. It's like,
Yeah.
I thought people would be wise enough to wake up, but
And most people
sadly,
are, right? Most Americans do see
I
through
was
it.
ignorant for a long time. I would say
Yeah.
I woke up a year and a half ago, way
Mm,
late. I wish I woke up sooner. But I remember how I was just not paying attention to anything in the world. I was focused on my own thing, just like you said. I was just focused on concerts, dating, doing this next job, doing my thing, what's happening
yeah.
this weekend. I
And the
didn't care
grind.
about anybody else.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
grind, the partying, celebration, whatever. But as I reach out more to the community and see what's going on, it just breaks the heart when it's you can't turn your eye away from this. It's too much blood that's going on for a while, but at this rate, this slaughter is ridiculous, my bro. Oh,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, there is that hope, right? And that's my Christian side is like we all have that humans are designed, you know, humanity was created in the image of God, and God has compassion, and
mm,
he has I don't want to say pity. The term is uh, he just he just takes he feels for men when he's in pain, and so likewise us, when we see a fellow human being crying in pain, hurt, we feel just naturally. Like if you see someone fall on the sidewalk, you're like, let me come help you.
mm,
And so most Americans, you know, they don't like to see it. That's the
mm,
truth. But the Zionists, they have a lot of money, number one.
mm-hmm,
And because they have money, they can afford to hire psychologists. And the psychologists, they're able to manipulate the people, the masses, right?
oh,
Through the media.
mm,
They twist the story in a way to manipulate the people and into they right a great man. So you might have heard about him named Noam Chomsky. Quoted the term manufacturing consent.
Manufacturing consent. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Well, I mean, like I'm definitely not like the like the intellectual on it, but like, Noam Chomsky actually he I think he endorsed Joe Biden in 2020 against Donald Trump, which I thought was like so dumb. I mean,
Hmm.
look, I'm not saying, I'm not endorsing Trump, but I'm like that Noam Chomsky would endorse Joe Biden, who is a war criminal himself and has incarcerated, like millions of Americans, Black Americans primarily, um, is insane. But Noam Chomsky wrote this book, released this book called, or published this book called Manufacturing Consent. And it's this idea of, yeah, the manufacture, news is manufactured, it's like a factory, they have the headline, then they have the article, they have the sources, what I mean? There's a supply chain. I went to school for economics at Arizona State, and the school of journalism there is Walter Cronkite. And
Mm.
like I don't really know that much about Walter Cronkite, but I know he's kind of like a mogul of the news of like the 50s, 60s era. So the school there is it's a school of where they manufacture journalism. It's just like, okay, we're gonna teach you how to do it. And so yeah, because the war, if and it is a war in a sense. The Zionists are waging really for world domination, and that war is largely fought not just militarily. One of the biggest arms is the media. If you have the media on your
Mm.
side, propaganda is like that's where they're putting in 90%, I think, of their efforts, because if they can sway public opinion, they have a mandate from the people to to send more money for bombs. We have to give Israel what they want, right? They have the churches with them. They have, that's the, and so
Like
that's
Kufi.
exactly. But the people really, if you were to take out all of that, naturally they'd be like, yo, just stop killing these people, stop killing these children, just give them
Mm.
some food. Just it's enough. It goes
Mm.
to show the power of the media and the Zionist mafia, really.
Yeah, it looks like they're everywhere. And controlling the media is controlling the narrative because I see it all the time when I see clips from Pierce
Mm,
Morgan,
yeah.
and he's always promoting. And what's weird, because I remember Bassem Youssef when he first was on that show,
Mm.
um, he said, "There are no beheaded babies, but you guys all said it." And he said, "I never said beheaded babies." And he's like, "What? Nobody said it?" He's like, "No, no one said it." He's like, "Okay, well, whatever." Then a month ago, he's got another guest, Muhammad Hijab, and he brings up the beheaded babies, and then another guest he brings up beheaded babies after. So he lied about lying, then he lies again. And whenever anyone brings up the crimes that Israel, he just ignores it and then focuses back on October 7th and denies that anything they're doing. It's like,
They pay him very well. I'll tell you
yeah,
that much.
I mean, he
He
might
doesn't
get
believe he
he might
doesn't
get a
believe
bunch of $1,000 each time he says a certain tagline, you know?
and he doesn't believe any of it. If you talk to him, I bet you actually talk to Pierce Morgan like at the bar, he'll be like, I like there's a genocide, but he's not gonna tell you that on TV
And he's got
because
this poker face all the time, and he always hounds the Arab or pro-Palestinian people, but not the others. It's
he
like,
literally that's literally
oh,
he
that's media.
sold he sold his soul to the devil. Like that's literally, and that's who ultimately these idols work for. I mean, and
Mhm,
yeah, like the and in Revelations actually, which again as a Christian, there's a specific um, line that Jesus speaks of, that these people are of the synagogue. They say they are Jews, but they're not, and
mm,
they're of the synagogue of Satan. That's
mhm,
there's a forewarning for this group of people who are the Zionists. And yeah, I mean, Pierce Morgan, it's all manipulation. And what is oh, do you condemn Hamas, right? Like at the end of the day, it's just the same talking points. And you're not did you see the Tom Cotton video today?
Tom
You've
I
heard of
saw
him?
the Unfortunately, yeah, the guy
Yeah,
who robbed from gold from whatever. I can't stand Tom Gunn. No way.
yeah,
But I saw a little clip with Code Pink. You know, Code
exactly.
Pink.
Yep, yep.
I saw a little bit of that one, and he called
Yeah,
this a symbol of
right.
terrorism,
Yep.
which bothered me because anyone who knows, and I'm going to be a broken record, these are fishnets of the fishermen. These are roads of hundreds of thousands of years of peaceful trade and commerce and bringing cultures together. These are leaves of the olive branches of the olive trees, sacred to the Palestinian people and the Palestinian land.
Preach,
This
bro.
represents a culture of people.
Culture.
For that guy to call this a sign of terrorism is literally a racist mother flower pointing out and saying that a whole demographic of people are terrorists by default. That Tom Cotton is a racist pile of poop. I'm really trying not to curse anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
really
By all
trying.
means.
It's so hard.
No, you're congrats,
Oh
man.
my
You're
gosh.
you're you're killing it.
Oh, but yeah, go on. It's
No,
just
I
so
just
infuriating. Oh,
no. I mean, I watched him, and he has a script.
like on repeat,
He's
huh? Because you
he's
say
got
the
a
same
script.
thing.
They these guys are professionals. You have to understand, like, you know, you don't get to be a senator or a congressman just like that. These guys are professional liars. You pay them enough, they'll go to war for you, and you know they'll you give them, they call it, oh, it's a symbol of anti-Semitism, right? Like that. I think
Palestinians are Semitic.
that was within, I think, 10 seconds of the conversation. He throws anti-Semitism, right? Because I think he gets like 20K if he says that, right? I think
Probably.
that's part of the contract, right? You say anti-Semitism, 20K in the bank. Ching,
Oh,
ching.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? Every time they say oh, you're an anti-Semite, ching. We have to fight against ching.
That makes
You know
sense.
what I'm
Why they have no shame in saying this stuff in front of a recording, because the lobby's like, "Oh, you got it.
saying?
Let's send a
Ching. Okay.
check."
We got to send another 20K. Like, damn, okay. And Top Gun's like, he's thinking about that vacation, you know what I'm saying, to Maui, on the beach, and like, So, and because he has no soul, he sold his soul as well. Like, they're, but yeah, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought, but all this to say, man, is just like they
Like, I feel
they
like
have
the
hands everywhere.
intelligent people are hired to sell a lie in the most logical way that people will believe it. And it's probably part of their script.
And this is after, the significance of the Tom Cotton is the ICC has issued arrest warrants for war crimes.
Oh, can you say that one more time?
Ladies and gentlemen, the International Criminal Court has issued official arrest warrants. These guys are wanted for crimes against humanity. Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant are wanted by the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity, the genocide of the Palestinians. This has been, and that decision, right, was largely the foundation of the decision was documented by a Holocaust survivor. I forgot his name. It's on IG. I'm sure you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you can look it up right now, but like, because my phone has like a light on it, but if you go to like I think it's like, yeah, if you go to my story, it's on there. But it's funded by this Holocaust survivor who, because he survived the Holocaust, he was an attorney before because before he spent 4 years in an internment camp in Germany during World War II under Nazis. Okay, it's a miracle. It's literally a miracle this guy survived. And
Yeah.
then after he survived, he went double down. He was like, this is never going to happen again. And I'm going to see it through. I'm going to see to it that this never happens again. And this guy is saying that, has confirmed, he put a stamp of approval that these guys are committing genocide. Who else could even decide on this? Right? And so now you have the International Criminal Court has decided this, And the United States, now the United States, Tom Cotton is going to have an arrest warrant as well. Joe Biden, Kamala
Yes.
Harris, they're all going to be arrested because the thing is, okay, during World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got it?
Yeah, that was
Beautiful.
the thing you showed right there.
Yes. If you go
Holocaust
to
survivor and scholar of international law who advised and supported the ICC warrant. Doesn't say
money,
his name though, but bam.
and the next, I screenshotted it. If you go to the next one, the next
Yes,
story,
of course. Pow.
can we read that? Like,
Yes, sir.
at least the last paragraph. For anyone arguing the ICC's motive in issuing these arrest warrants, remind them of the fact that a Jewish genocide survivor and former refugee turned international law scholar who once served as an Israeli diplomat advised the ICC on Israel's prosecution of the genocide in Gaza and fully supported this decision both in a report he co-authored for the ICC in a Financial Times article he wrote. So, it's like it's no debate. The game is over. Like the game is over. Like everybody, like, arms up. Okay, okay, we're done. We're gonna cut aid to Israel. We're washing our hands of this. We say sorry, and that's what needs to happen.
Yes.
Instead, they double down. What's Catherine St. Pierre, right? She's the press secretary for like Biden. She's like, we see no proof that Israel.
No proof. It's like someone doesn't go to school any day of the week and then shows up on the last day and complains about not having any of the information.
Yo, ma'am, you never. This wasn't ever on. We talked about this in class, like,
right? Oh,
it's sorry, but like, yeah, like, this is like the whole class. It was like this literally what we talked about for like since day one.
yeah.
Okay, have you seen JFK, the Oliver Stone movie?
The Oliver Stone movie?
Okay,
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Okay, I'm gonna watch Star Wars. You have to
I'll
watch
watch Oliver
JFK. All
Stone.
right, that's the deal.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
I know the stuff with him,
so
like getting an ultimatum for 73 hours to comply for Israel lobby's demand, and then 3 days later he's dead.
Oliver Stone?
No, JFK.
Oh, JFK. Yeah. Well, that part. Well, the thing about the JFK movie, fantastic movie. I really recommend anyone to watch it. You have to watch it. If you're an American, you have to watch it.
Watch it this weekend, bro.
But the thing is, so JFK was, the plot, right, was that he was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even okay. They already knew who he was. Like within, I think, 48 hours, the newspapers were already printed. But then here's the kicker: everybody was already losing their minds, right? And this is like acted perfectly in the movie. There's Danny DeVito, not Danny, I think Joe Pesci. Anyways, it's acted perfectly. But then so Lee Harvey Oswald becomes this like national, like he's on TV everywhere. He's the guy who did it, right? So they're taking him here and there. He's like, they have interviews, little clips here and there. And then there's this scene in the movie, and they're like, they in a transfer of they're moving him from one police station to the jail or whatever. He gets assassinated himself by like this guy from the mafia, and it's on live TV. And there's a scene like the reactions that are just like, this can't be happening, because not only did the president of the United States get assassinated, but the person that they're blaming it on has just been assassinated himself. So we'll never know. Basically, this is just
that I knew too.
So and this is the same thing that's happening right now in the sense that like this is just unbelievable that Saint Pierre, the press secretary, is still like, how much are they paying her? How much, Tom Cotton, like really, the game is up. Like you need to fold before, because now the United States is really, is gonna go down. Like, the thing about, like the Nuremberg trial, right? After World War II, after the game was, the war was called. They spent what 10, like I don't know how many years trying to, convict the people who ran the camps, right? The Nazis, everything like that. That's what's gonna happen, to Kamala, this and that. Like, and it's like save yourself while you're at it, and they're not gonna do it. I mean, it's like
I wonder if this is a symptom of being too used to getting away with things that they know no other way, just to keep trying to get away with stuff like as a defense mechanism. These politicians in power.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there's this, I'm trying to
Or if
say
they think they're gonna finish their end game goals and then rewrite everything and change the rules and get away with it clean anyways.
but at this point, there's no way it's going to happen, right? Because the ICC has, this is like a funded by the foundation is on Holocaust survivors. So the thing is, yes,
Mhm.
these guys are professional. Like the thing is, it's embarrassing, right? The risk of saying, okay, you're right, it's too late. They're too far down the line to admit to it. That's
Mhm.
definitely a part. The other part is what I think is I mean more likely. I mean, or in addition, is just like they how to say like I mean there's personal risks, right? I think if Kamala Biden, they've taken a lot of money, right? So they're compromised. If
Mm.
if if they don't see through this plan, they will personally be murdered. Their families will be murdered. Why? Because by design, it's mafia. Because that's who put APAC put Biden in charge. APAC put Kamala in charge.
I believe that too.
And there's a lot of money. A lot of people got paid, and it's like you guys are not going to deliver on our promises. You see us through to the end, or else there's consequences. And so there, that's who's really running the country is APAC, and they have us
Mhm.
under. We literally like a gun to our head, like we're gonna see us through. And now with Trump coming in, I mean that's just it's only to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if we're gonna get to Trump. That's what I think
Wow. Wow.
because you know I don't know. I mean, I think that it's possible that I mean, because there's stuff going on in Ukraine, right?
Mhm.
Biden has given approval for Ukraine to strike at Russia within Russia with U.S. made missiles. So Russia has put their nuclear arsenal on alert,
Mhm.
and they basically said that any NATO facility is a legitimate target.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if people like comprehend. The thing about the United States is we've had a war on education, right? People, this
Oh,
population
yeah.
has been dumbed down, right? So they're not smart enough to realize that like the United States is a NATO target. Okay, the United States, the whole of the United States is a
Mhm.
NATO facility. Okay, that includes Hawaii, that includes Alaska, that includes Los Angeles, that includes New York, that includes so everything. So if you guys want to hit at us, we're gonna hit at you. And
Yeah.
it's like, and the thing is, the Biden, Kamala, do they care about you? Or do they care
They
about
have their
me?
bunkers.
They don't give a. And in fact, okay, I mean, granted, this is like a pretty high.
Thinking a politician cares about us is same as thinking the stripper at the strip club loves you back.
Right. You gotta
I
be a
heard
fool,
that and I
man.
like it,
Like,
it's like
let me hit that. Whatever, I'll have what he's having.
my God, no. But yeah, dude, seriously. Uh,
And
it
they're playing with our lives,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I
And
think
other people's lives. I don't like that. That to me is not American. As a kid, I grew up in the 80s. I believe this country is full of GI Joes. But I grew up older, I found out it's all run by Cobra. And
hmm,
that breaks my heart.
what's Cobra?
Oh, bro. Sorry, I'm a super geek. Cobra was the worldwide terrorist entity that GI Joe was fighting against.
Oh,
They were
I
the
see. Got
underground
you.
cults. They
Right.
had funding from different
But
shady
see,
groups in the
I
black market, and GI Joe was the freedom
wow.
fighting force taking them out.
See, I had some GI Joes when I was growing up, like, but I was just like 3, 4 years
Oh,
old.
that
But
was the storyline, though. Wait,
I
I'm
had the
old.
I had the GI Joe like figurines, okay, but I didn't understand
Hey.
like what I was doing. But
Oh,
as
okay, okay.
I love the art, right? You brought up Star Wars, you brought up GI
Mhm.
Joe, right? They're making comments, social comments on without being overtly, right?
Yeah, and
Obviously
notice
the
nowadays that stuff is being nerfed and rewritten and rechanged, you know?
mm,
So
when you
nowadays,
say nerfed, you mean like Mandela effect
like,
type?
no, nerfed, like, they take away the weight of things. Because in the early '90s,
Mm.
a lot of these animation cartoon shows for kids were too
Right.
violent. So later on, they turned more satirical, more comedy,
Mm.
more like SpongeBob SquarePants, less
Right.
about, "This is what we have to do the right thing. Knowing is
Right.
half the battle." I miss those messages. Now it's just
Right.
about being entertained every 15 minutes, 15 seconds, mind you. There's no
There's almost
extra thought.
no
There's no high concept. And when a high concept film does come out, like, sorry, I'm super geeking out on you, but
please.
like Man of Steel, that one got slammed because what? One of the guys tells an invader that this is genocide and genocide is wrong.
Mm.
And
When did this come
that
out?
movie, 2013.
Okay.
So a lot of things in that film about an alien force colonizing people is
Mm.
in there. All these themes, and then when I see stories that touch on those bases, not just that one but others, they get slammed, and then they're like, "Oh, instead en entertain, like, fast, happy, funnier, hangover type films or something. Instead of high concept entertainment, even though it could be fun, there's these
Yeah.
serious undertones that make us reflect on our own life and society and what is right and wrong. Instead of questioning what's right and wrong, I feel that media, which we know who also pushes that, just wants to know, be entertained, be sexually satisfied, have all those cars, have that bling, whatever. And it's all the deep thinking is gone. That's why I really admire people who sincerely are Christian, Muslim, Jewish, because there's a strong current of right and wrong if you
Right.
sincerely read, words of God. And I think we need more of that.
You know, it's funny. I was just talking with my friend about some bets, betting and things like that.
Sucker.
And huh?
Oh,
What'd you say?
gambling. Oh no. Go
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Oh my god. What is it like? What is it in haram? Haram. Haram.
Yes, haram. Haram.
um, but the thing is, like, you were talking about like how like the game is like crazy, and basically, I was telling him like, yeah, like, it's a race to the bottom,
Mm.
right? Like so people in their quest for money, they will out lower themselves. Oh, I don't care at all. I care even less. I will
Oh.
do, and like I will kill, I will steal. It's a race to the bottom to get to that money, right? So it's
Mm.
like and he was saying like that's why religion, it saves humanity, for because that's inevitable in a capitalist society mixed with human nature. It's a race to the bottom. It's a race
Mm.
to the most evil, the most corrupt, who can do it the worst to get the most money, because
Mm.
whoever can out whatever the other one will get the money. And so yeah, like, thank God that there's hope, in the scriptures, in the communities, the churches, for at least they, and you don't have to necessarily be, but it brings about a gigantic net of social, like, tries to keep humanity from just total, like, the weight of the evil. It's like, oh, it's like so
Yeah.
much. And but it's somewhat, it's the fabric of society. It's the fabric of society that is that light. So yeah, thank you for saying that.
Oh, that's beautiful. And also, I don't like how people weaponize religion as an excuse to do their crimes. Now, I know we're getting close to the end point, but I would
Yeah.
like to share with people that post when you've been walked out of a church. Is that okay?
Yeah, by all means.
And then we'll talk about that and then we'll wrap it up. So
I
everybody,
cuss a little bit, but
no,
you know
it's
I
it's
you know
okay.
I got some
This is
slack
not
from
for the
Christians.
kids. This is
All
mature
right.
audiences only. By the way, everyone follow my boy on Instagram. Support him. He does amazing work. And
Netanyahu
uh,
is done, dude. This IC decision, it's over.
yeah.
It's
Oh, I hope
over.
so. I hope so.
But you know what it is?
Oh, what? What? Sorry.
Like the how to say, like, the final boss, right? When you get to,
Haha.
when you get to, like, you finish the game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, you know he might go down, right? But he's not gonna go down without a fight. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna get, it's almost over, but it's gonna get uglier. That's my prediction. Anyways, yeah, that's your boy right there.
All right, let's check out this incident and let's talk about it. Look at these three dumb fucks behind me, escorting me out of a church. Your boy Youceff with this fat
Crazy.
fuck.
Sorry.
These two fat fucks right here.
I was livid.
Fake police work for
My
the
heartbeat is like racing.
Transport me out of here of Grace Community Church, a church I'm a member of, and I've come here before. That have permission to use the Master Cemetery Library. This is Panorama City.
Not any longer.
America. I'm a United States citizen, and I'm being, my First Amendment rights are being violated because they're not happy with the sign that I have on my car, which says "Free Gaza" and "Free Palestine." So
from the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea, big boy. Down.
Private property.
Genocide?
Property.
Is that what it is?
Genocide, right? Call for genocide.
What you believe in?
Private property.
Private property.
You have to leave.
So, props to you calling them out.
That's the thing. When you're when you're a Christian, okay, when you're a true born again Christian, the spirit of fear just leaves. You're emboldened. This fear is not a Christian thing. Like if anyone's afraid, that means they're not really Christian. So I'm a little like, I'm upset, and I'm in that video, I'm upset. I'm just like, oh, like I got that rage. That's it.
You contain your rage pretty well composed. It was all internal and came out in the words because, oh my gosh, some little poo-poo words out there. But they were saying from river to the sea as a bad thing. How come no one understands that from river to the sea means equal rights for the Palestinian people in the land that they live in? I don't understand that. Or is it so fact that they think for people to be free, another people must die because that's what they're investing in with the terrorist state of Israel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how did they get that wrong? Or is that them trying to, like how racist people like Tom Cotton is trying to do defamation of character to the ICC? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're doing that with their slogan, everything and
propaganda. It's propaganda. It's propaganda, right?
And that's coming from people of that church. That breaks my heart.
They just eat it. They eat it from the news and from their pastors.
So how did they find you and get you? It's like, oh, that's his car. Da da da.
Yeah, well, so real quick, it's from the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. They're saying that free. And granted, the English language is very ambiguous. Okay, but free. I mean, what would that? Does that mean like just all the Jews will be killed or something? Like that's quite a jump. That's from free to like, oh, we're gonna have a genocide of the Jews. Like, where did you? How did you get there? Like, we said free as in freedom. Like in the United States, we're free. Like I can go to, Atlanta if I want to. I can go to. I go to a mosque. I can go to
or walk on the street. Anywhere we want.
Exactly. I can walk up to the freeway.
Behind houses.
Exactly. I can. So that's what we mean. Because Palestinians they can't go to like West Jerusalem. They can't go to Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
They can't go to the beach like north of, of Gaza City, like of Deir al-Balah. Like they can't right now. They can't even go to Gaza City, right? They can't go to the north. Even Gaza is not free. So like
it's an open-aired prison.
Yeah, but even that part, right? People are in Deir al-Balah, and they can. There's section there, but they can't go to Rafah. They can't go to Gaza City. The West Bank, like they can barely go. Everything's like, So that's what we mean. We mean Palestine will be free, like Jews and Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, whoever. There's not just three. There's like there's like a Ruz, I think, or Haruz. They're like in Lebanon. They're like an you know, kind of like the Gnostics. There's so many faiths that see Palestine, you know, as their holy land.
And they've
So
all coexisted for so many years. It's why can't be free is going
freely,
back to that.
exactly,
Going back
exactly.
to these roads, man. These
No,
roads.
no more apartheid. No more, wall. No wall. That's it. Doesn't mean murder of anyone. So,
Hmm.
I had, and the thing is, I had just gone. We did like a caravan in Pasadena with Palestinian Youth Movement, where we decorated our cars. And on my car, I wrote um, "Free Palestine" on the hood, and then on the sides, it was like "From the river to the sea" on, I think, the driver's side, and then on the passenger side, it said "Palestine will be free," or "Palestine will be free," and like, yeah, he's like, you hear him like "From the river to the sea," and then genocide, right? It's like these guys are, pardon my French, but like just just that's the thing. Most police, right? The requirement for police is to just graduate from high school. So that's why most police are not very intelligent. So they can be easily manipulated. Security guys they're dumb. That's
Was
why.
trained by IDF's soldiers.
What's up?
I know some areas are trained by IDF.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's.
So you get that narrative, you get that, perception of how to deal with people,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're big dudes, small brain. Or I mean, respectfully, like it's just these guys are not intelligent. You're rarely gonna have a college graduate enroll into the police. Like that just
That's a little
doesn't.
harsh though, no?
I mean, look.
Well, from what we've seen here in our hometown, I would agree with some of that, definitely, because they I don't know.
So
These
guys are
guys
just
work for Zionists. I feel like
these guys are just not intelligent. You can tell they've been duped, and they're just repeating. They're just like, they're like a parrot, parakeet. Like they're just repeating BS that they heard on, Fox News or from their pastor. And the thing is, the pastor at that church, I found out, if you go on his Instagram, his name is John MacArthur. He's a big deal. That church is a mega church in the San Fernando Valley, and they have a school there, a seminary for people to become pastors, and they have they have a university in like Santa Clarita. So they have a lot of money, and the pastor is the founder. The current pastor is the guy who founded the whole thing, and he posted something on I think October 8th or 9th, something like that, to his Instagram, saying like the reason why this happened is because of Islam, basically. In he's calling out the scriptures of Islam that it allows. So this guy he's fanning the flames. And that's the thing. As a Christian too, I just want to say, like, um, Christ says, and St. Paul as well, the Holy Spirit wishes everyone to come to God, and it does not, it's not a Christian calling to like convert all Muslims or to that Muslims are the enemies. Like there's nowhere in the Bible is that written. And I think Christians and Muslims come from the same line. In fact, Islam considers Jesus to be, a huge part. And Muhammad met with Jesus, according to the story. So, I see Muslims and they're cool with me. I'm cool with them. And I see Jews too. What's crazy is last night, I'm sorry, going on tangent here, but last night I was driving in the valley and I see these like Orthodox Jews with their, things like, and they're just dancing, right? And I was like, oh, maybe they're celebrating. I wonder, maybe they celebrated the ICC thing. But I was like, let me, so pull a U-turn. I pull up on them. This guy, he's shaking because the Jews have been humbled. They have been humbled. So this guy's shaking. I mean, maybe he was scared. I don't know. But he's telling me like, we just want to dance. We want to bring more joy to the world. Like we don't want no more war, no more pedophilia, no more like twisting like humanity, like And I was like, we want peace, we want this, and I was like, what's your name, my friend? And he was like, Youceff. I was like, bro, that's my name.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
They have
Like
the same name.
we have the same name.
What a bond.
We're bros. And I shook his hand and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like these guys who are trying to say like trying to pin us against each other are like, you know, bad faith actors who just
That's
really
what the devil wants, man. He wants to separate us. And I have to say, I love your heart and everything you're sharing because, we also just met. I don't know if you
yeah.
know, but I'm Muslim. And it says, speak kind to the Christian, for they are closest to you in faith. We're all
There you
brothers and
go.
sisters and cousins, man. And, we love God and we may pray differently, but over time, we've lived wonderfully together. The most moving thing I felt with going to the protest was meeting so many different people, fellow Christians, Jewish people, fellow Muslims, atheists, agnostics, um, even the LGBT people who care about humanity.
White,
And
brown, black,
that's, yeah, dude, there's no
Asian.
color. We're all human, man. I love it. We're all together, and I love that because we're humanity and we're all that we got. And I was saying earlier, I really appreciate people who sincerely read the word of God, like what I believe you do, because you have this understanding that humanity is sacred. We don't uh discriminate
The
except
Lord works in
for
mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
he does, man.
and the one thing I am not allowed to judge, lest I also be judged. I'm not trying to be judged. So I'm not gonna judge nobody.
No, it's his job. I'm not gonna do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know, allegedly, like, you know, it was Jews who, you know, killed Christ. Am I gonna go out there and be like, oh, I hate Jews because they killed Christ? Like, no. You know, God loves, you know, we're all sinners and God loves us still. So who am I to? My call is to be just like God and to love everybody. So I love Muslims. I love you, man. This has been like this is
Ah,
cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like
I,
this is
I
what it's
hope
like,
so.
and that's how it was before the Zionists came up. And
Mm,
their only intent, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm gonna say? Their only intent is to take the land. That's it.
yeah, yeah.
They want the power, and they're not gonna. You know, it's crazy that Gaza. You know, I have this shirt from POM. It says Gaza will be the cemetery of the occupier, and like it's like because they want not only all of Palestine, they want Lebanon, they want
Mm,
Syria, they
mm,
want
mm.
Jordan, they might even want Iraq.
Yo, like 6 months ago, I saw someone capture a picture of the greater Israel, like on a soldier's badge, and I made a live show on it on my channel. Someone
Yeah,
said, "Oh, that's stupid." Da, da, da. Fast forward to now, Netanyahu
yeah,
shows it, and then it's a thing. Like this
yeah.
is ugly, not secret coming to light. I just hope we all wake up. Enough people wake up in time to stop it before this nightmare becomes a reality.
You know,
Because
as a
it's
Christian, I
all
can
about getting
say,
lands, man.
Inshallah.
Can't kill you. Of course.
I can say that. You
Yeah,
know,
of course. It's
and
Arabic for good stuff. God willing.
God willing, man, that's it. You know,
Yeah.
if God so wills it, you know. And the thing is, one thing about the Great Israel doesn't it remind you of another place in the world. The way it looks, all these like little states together. You know,
Mm.
I've
Kind
seen
of
that
kind
one
of
before.
kind of united, huh? Hmm. Oh, how are you doing over there? Huh? Alaska, I see
You
you.
know, and it's weird that the United States of America is funding their operation.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
almost
like
like
it's
they're
an
trying
ugly
to.
success story. I feel America should learn from the mistakes of the past to not repeat them, not hide mistakes of the past, like getting rid of certain books in Florida from college campuses, that tell about Native American history and Black American history. But to know that, to not repeat it, so we can be better because we are not the sinful ancestors of the past or anyone. We are here today. We can make life better worldwide for everybody and live in peace.
Of
But
course.
ah,
And we will.
I believe that too. I'm not gonna give up on
Peace
that.
is coming, man. Peace is coming.
Amen.
Allah, peace is coming.
Anything you want to say as we end this? As I'm 6 minutes late to my thing.
That shit, man. You know, man. Just like everybody like hit that subscribe button. You know,
Oh, listen, fuck me, dude. I'm broke. I
No.
can't write you a check, bro. Don't taunt me, man. I appreciate it. Y'all
No,
know
man,
this.
just you know what I mean. I appreciate you having me. Just like
You're welcome back whenever we could do
you
this, and
know,
hopefully I'm gonna get more
I, w-
people.
I will just say this, man.
Yes.
I've been getting a lot of messages from families in Gaza, right, asking for money, right? Hey,
Yeah.
can you help us out? Can you help us out? And at first, I thought, no, maybe like, is this person for real? What if it's a
Or
Zaire,
it's like a
right?
scam, someone who
Right,
just
right,
got a
right,
picture.
right. And man, the thing is, like, as a Christian, I have the gift of discernment. So I'm good at, like, can decipher people's, like, intent. I can see when people, like, things that other people would miss. I can see it, and so I check out all the accounts. I like a post, a new account, who they're following, blah blah blah, and, like, bro, overwhelmingly, like, without a doubt, these accounts are legit. There is a genocide. There's a famine happening, and if someone hits you up, you know, like, I can understand doubtful Thomas, this and that, but, like, $5, like, might to you, it's like a cup of Starbucks. To them, it's like life or death. And it's
Yeah.
like, even myself, I've kind of run myself into a lot of debt as a result. Not that much, but I still try to donate because I can. I have the credit. So if it's just like put it on a credit card or I put it on PayPal, this and that, and, like, in a month I'll pay it back. And hopefully in a month this is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just encourage people to, like, donate. You might save a life. You might save, a kid from just dying, um, because he didn't have food. Just like in 1941, 42, 43, like, it's crazy that the genocide, the sky is blue. The sun is shining outside. It's warm, right? You can have a beer on the corner, but that doesn't mean this is what a genocide looks like. This is what it looks like. We're on
Mm.
YouTube. We're on Instagram. This is what a genocide looks like. It doesn't have to be black and white. It doesn't have to be, in Germany. It doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be a gas chamber for it to be a genocide. So, just please, if someone reaches out to you, um, you know, at least give him $5. Like, just give him even $1. Just do it. Just let go. That's all.
Mm. No, I agree with that. And even if worse comes to worse, you just can't spread the word.
Yeah,
It might touch like 20 people might see it, and then 3 of them might be able to, at least spread the word.
you're manifesting something. When you
Mhm.
do that, you manifest your actions, like, so powerful, so powerful. Instead of just, oh, I can't do it, next.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for being on my show, brother. I hope this
Absolutely,
show
bro.
does good. Thank you for helping me help Palestine. And I'm gonna see you real soon at our next gathering and protest. That's for sure. I'll give you a big hug and a high five, dog.
Yes,
And
sir.
yeah, my word to everybody. Do yourself, your heart, your spirit, America, and other people in the world a good service of catching up on what's really going on. And I believe once you do, your heart will tell you the right thing to do next. All right. This is my boy Youceff. This is your boy Kojay. I bid you a good day. Support me if you can. I appreciate it. And until
Support us,
next
guys.
time, until next time, free Palestine,
Free Palestine.
save Congo, free
Free
Sudan,
Sudan.
everything. We're
Free
doing it.
Lebanon. Save Lebanon, for real.
Yeah. None of us are free unless all of us are free. All right. Much love and God bless. We are out as I hit the end button.